Hi, 4th and 5th grade trombone and baritone players, and thanks for checking out this YouTube video. This video will be dedicated to showing us how to do slurs on the trombone or the baritone. What is a slur, you might be asking? A slur is when we're kind of connecting two notes without taking a breath or stopping the air in between those two notes. But what we're going to do is we're going to make it like a workout for our lips. So, just like you have to work out in the gym to kind of make muscle with your arms or your legs or wherever, you have to also build muscle in your lips to get higher pitches on your trombone or baritone. So the way we do that is by doing some slurs. So what we do is we will pick two notes that usually have either the same fingering on the baritone or the same position on the trombone, and we will slur back and forth between those two notes. Now, the goal is to try to accurately hit those without having to stop our air, having to tongue them. It's just going to be going from one note to the next within the same breath. So we'll start with our B flat to our F. What that'll do is sound like this. So we're trying to go between those two different notes without having to take a breath or stop, and what that does is it's going to make our air in our lungs. We're going to have to figure out how to do that properly, how to make our air go faster to hit the higher note, and how do we tighten our lips while we're doing that without having to stop stop our sound or having to tongue the note. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through those different partials. Now, if you have the fingering chart with you in that packet, that's what it meant by partials. When we have, let's say for baritone, you play B flat open, and trombone, you play B flat in first position. B flat and F are on the same partial, or on the same fingering, but they're on two different partials. I apologize. So you go from B flat up to F in the same position or the same fingering, but you have a different partial. So you can play a lot of different notes on the same either fingering or on the same position. So you can see I stayed in first position that entire time, but I hit 4 or 5 different notes. So what we're going to do is we're only going to focus really on 2 notes. So if you're in 4th grade, we're going to do the lower half of those slurs first, and then if you're in 5th grade, and even if you're in 4th grade, you're welcome to stay for the remainder of the video. We're going to try even some higher notes as we're working on from F to even high B flat. So we're going to go through a couple of these partials and try to work out our lips here to practice getting from one note to the next without having to tongue or stop our air. So we're going to start on B flat and go to F. So whether you're playing baritone, you're playing open the entire time, and if you're on trombone, you're staying in first position. So we're going to do this in half notes. You're welcome to do it in quarter notes to make it a little bit faster. It'll actually give you a little bit more of a workout in your lips. So here is B flat to F. 1, 2, ready, and go. It's okay if you have to take a breath in there somewhere, just because you run out of air, but we don't want to make it a breath for each one of those notes. So what we're going to do, and you can do that in quarter notes, so if you do it in quarter notes, it'll sound like this. Now we're going to do the same thing in half notes, but we're going to go down to our next position. So if you're on trombone, you're actually going to go to second position. So you're going to have your slide just about this far out for second position. And if you're playing baritone, you're just going to use your second valve. And that's going to be a little bit lower of a note. So you could do that in quarter notes again as well. Now we're going to go down to either third position for trombone, which is where you kind of lined up your hands with the bell, or if you're playing baritone, you're going to press first valve. 1, 2, in half notes, and go. So you can do that in quarter notes. And now we're going to do our last one where we go down to fourth position. So again, fourth position is where you kind of want the last part of your bell right here, the ending of that slide, lined up with your bell. So that's really the lower end of our slurs, and those will help you kind of work to get those lip muscles really going. What we want to do now is, whether you're 4th or 5th grade, you could stick around and watch. We want to go even higher. So we want to go back and forth between our F and our high B flat. So again, it's the same positioning or same vowels, just using more air and faster air and kind of tightening our lips and squeezing a little bit and pushing more air through the horn. So if we do the same thing, but we're going to do F to high B flat, so it'll be a little bit higher. It sounds like this. You can play along if you'd like. 1, 2, ready, and go. Yeah, sorry, let me try that again. Those are the 2 notes we're looking for. Ready, and go. Then we're going to go down to 2nd position. Same thing, ready, and go. Now we're going to go to the same thing, 3rd position. So it's the same sequence of positions or fingerings. 1, 2, ready, and go.